Hi everybody, this is Angie, also known as Delight. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing good. I'm in a better mood, as you could probably tell. If you hear any Spanish music in the background, I live in a Spanish neighborhood. It's Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Well, now it's midnight, so it's Cinco de Mayo today, so people start partying early. I already had my fajitas and my margarita because I have to work later today. So I already celebrated in advance. Okay, but anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm Angie, also known as The Light. And please stop what you're doing, like my video, subscribe, stay a while. You will not regret it. If you like to make a donation because you love me, that's cool, or because you want a video done about your topic or your spiritual question, I can do so. When you send a donation to me through my Cash App or my PayPal, I email you and I ask you, do you have a topic about narcissism, toxic relationships, a spiritual question, and I do a video response, so you get your own video based on your situation. Okay, that's how I work it on my channel. Yeah, that covers it. So today I want to talk about how narcissists are promiscuous, very promiscuous. I think I only have maybe one video on my channel about narcissism and sex, and that video has a lot of views. I think it has maybe 5,000 views or something like that. Because everybody's very interested in sex. Sex is a huge thing for people. I don't know why, but it is. So I just wanted to get that out. Get this message out there because it's extremely important. Not only just about narcissists, but people in general could be promiscuous. And to me, sex is a soul exchange. It's a spirit exchange. When you have sex with someone, you're not only it's not just a physical act. To me, it's a mental and a spiritual act playing out in the physical world. Okay, so sex is very intense, and they don't teach you that. If you remember in high school or junior high and we're in sex ed or whatever, or classes about the anatomy, they do not tell you the spiritual aspects of sex. Okay, and this is why I don't go around doing me and having sex with this guy or that guy. And I used to do that in my 20s. I didn't care if I thought a guy was cute, or he used certain words on me. I ended up having sexual relations with him, So, I am only speaking from experience, okay? And I do want to tell you to take sex very seriously, whether you're sleeping with a narcissist or not. So how do I know that narcissists are promiscuous? Because I've had tons of friends who were narcissists and I saw what they did. I've dated a couple of narcissists, including a narcissist for 6 years. So I know their behavior and I know their dark energy and what it does to our body. Okay. And I talk about that in my other videos as well. How, some of us, we're not ready to let go of narcissists. But you got to understand, narcissist just doesn't affect you mentally and emotionally, but it affects your health. Okay. Negative energy will start to break down you health wise. Okay, and I did a video on that too, so scroll down, look for that, how narcissists ruin your health, affect your health. I'm not sure what the title is, but you definitely will find it. And women who have dealt with narcissistic men or just low vibrational men in general, they end up having wound problems. And I have wound issues. Even though my condition is hereditary, I do feel sleeping with narcissists in my 20s, dealing with toxic men in general in my 20s has weakened my wound. I've never been pregnant. I never had an STD, but I do have cysts on my ovaries. I had to have a surgery on my uterus, in 2016, okay? I have on and off periods, so I do believe that these symptoms that I'm having is a residue from dealing with a lot of toxic men that maybe spiritually I haven't cleansed these men out of my spirit completely, entirely. So it is important to try to cleanse yourself spiritually, and through prayer, through spiritual baths, through they have this thing called yoni steaming, so look into it. It's basically like a spa for your vagina, okay? And it's something, the Asians did it, the Egyptians did it, Africans did it, all these different, I believe the Indians do it as well. And it's literally just herbs in a pot of water, and you literally squat over that pot, okay? And it's just a cleansing, and that's something that I'm going to start getting into more because of all the toxic narcissists that I have been with in my past. Okay, enough of the health and spiritual class. Let's just get down to it. If you are sleeping with a narcissist right now, I suggest you stop. I suggest, if you can't stop, or if you're addicted to them sexually, because yes, there are some narcissists out there who are really good at sex, and if you're in a low state of mind, you are going to be sexually attracted to a narcissist. For me, if I came across a narcissistic man, I'm probably going to be turned off. I'm going to know he's a narcissist by the conversations that I'm having with him, by his movements, and I'm not going to be sexually attracted to him. And even if I ended up sleeping with a narcissistic man, it won't be again. Because through time, once you start to learn the behavior patterns of certain toxic individuals and narcissists, you're no longer going to be sexually attracted to these characters, because how could you lay down with someone who's literally talking to you crazy, abusing you, putting you through so much unnecessary bullshit? You're going through all this emotional abuse. You're stressing out. Your hair is falling out. Your appetite is up and down. You're having, you're crying, these sleepless nights, and all the drama that comes with them. How could you get wet to that? How could you get aroused to that? Okay? After a while, there has to be a point where you're just not going to be attracted anymore. And that happens when you become serious about your healing journey, going no contact with them, seeing them for who they really are, okay? Every narcissist I've come across, besides maybe one, were all promiscuous, and to the extreme promiscuous, okay? I always give examples, of things that I've seen with my own eyes, but I guess the first narcissist that I can say I know of who was very promiscuous or just sexually just disgusting was my narcissistic stepfather. One, I was molested by him. Two, he would cheat on my mother with women in our church, and would literally bring his whores around. Okay, that's what's really crazy. There was one particular woman I remember that was a member of our church, and he was sleeping with her. And there was other men in the church, married men, that was sleeping with this particular member of the church. I found this stuff out later on, in life as I got older. I didn't know it when I was a child, but I did recognize body language as a child. But anyway, so there was this one particular woman in our church who he was having, sex with or whatever. She was his side whore. While he was married to my mom, and I remember he invited that side whore from our church over to have dinner with us after church service. So this is how extreme narcissists can be. They're willing to flaunt their whores in front of you. So I wouldn't be surprised if y'all have some crazy stories where your narcissist F someone, and then you know, flaunted their whores in front of you, or when you had no idea that that was their side piece or one of their multiple whores or whatever. They live these double lives, and even if you are married to them, you're not going to want to believe that they're doing this, but they're very deviant when it comes to sex. You got to understand that narcissists are never satisfied, so there's something that is in them that will be always be constantly hungry. A narcissist is someone that has multiple dark spirits in them, and one of them is a spirit of what is it? What is the word? But anyway, I'll tell you the word of the name of the spirit. But oh, the spirit of perversion. There you go. So narcissists have this spirit of perversion on them. So that means that a narcissist is capable of being attracted to children, being attracted to animals, being attracted to their own kids. Anything is possible because they have these multiple spirits on them. So you can't think in your mind, well, it's okay, I'm only with this narcissist, I'm not ready to let go of this narcissist sexually. You have to understand that you're putting your health at risk by sleeping with you. I'm not trying to scare y'all, but I'm just letting you know, okay? And someone, well, I know they're not cheating because they come home to me every night, and you don't know what they're doing. If you're not with them when they go to work, you're not with them in the bathroom when they're taking a shit, or they're in the shower. People create time. The narcissists live these double lives, and this is something they've been doing their whole life since birth. Okay, they've been this way either from birth with these spirits on them, or they were raised, they were developed this way. So they had a lot of years to practice being scandalous over us, practicing how to protect ourselves from scandalous spirits like this. Okay, so they're way ahead of you. A narcissist at 7 is going to outsmart even a psychologist at 30, okay? Because since 7, they have been training, okay, their whole life, their little life or their teenage life, how to be scandalous, how to lie, how to be sneaky. They've been grimy longer than you've been, studying in school, okay? Anyway, so back to the narcissistic stepfather. So he brung this woman who he was having a side relationship with to eat my mother's food that she cooked after church service. So they'll do things you don't really need to know, but they're actually getting something off of that, okay? I remember one narcissistic guy, when I met him, I didn't know he had a girlfriend, okay? And he waited until I felt attached to break it to me that he had a girlfriend. So I used to do my poetry at like a poetry club or whatever in Manhattan. And one night, something told me, don't go to the poetry club that night. And I said, why am I feeling like this? I always go every Tuesday, to perform at this poetry club. Later on, I get on Facebook. You know what this guy did? He went to the poetry club where he knew I performed my poetry at, and brung his girlfriend. So if I would have went there, I would have been there doing poetry in a room with a guy and the girlfriend, of the guy I liked, and his girlfriend would have been there. And he knew that. He didn't care. This is the type of scandalous things that they do. They get an arousal off of making you feel less than, okay? They get an arousal off that shit. And I've just seen these incidences, these scandalous situations that they do. And another scandalous thing that my I don't like to say the narcissistic stepfather did. He ended up sleeping with his brother's wife, okay? That's another thing. Nobody is off limits for the narcissist, okay? They will sleep with your mom. They will sleep with your dad. They will sleep with your dog. They will sleep with your sister, your best friend, your brother. It does not matter. They will sleep with your child. Nobody is off limits, okay? So his sister-in-law had a court case in New York. All right. So we lived in New York. His brother and the sister-in-law lived in another state. But because she had a court case in New York, my mom said, "Oh, it's no problem. Like, come to New York. You can stay at our house, go to your court case, and fly back home." So while she was there, supposed to be, you know, with this court case going on, when my mom is out the house, she's sexing my stepfather. Okay? This is how this in my parents' bed. Didn't take her to a hotel. Didn't try to screw her in the car. Slept with his brother's wife in the same bed that he lays with his wife. Okay? And I mean, to me, I understand that other people do this. They don't have to be narcissistic to do this. But this is how low and disgusting, how scandalous narcissists really can be. Okay? And this is why they're so dangerous. Because there's nothing off limits. I used to hang out with this narcissistic female. I remember one summer I counted about 5 or 6 guys that she said that she had sex with without a condom. I'm counting like, wait a minute, she was raw with him. I counted about 5 or 6 guys that summer. I'll never forget that. They're not using protection. It don't even matter if they're sleeping with 10 people. They're going to take that risk. They will not be using protection. So stop thinking that you're protected. Your narcissist is faithful to you. The narcissist is not even faithful to their true self. So what makes you think they're going to be faithful to you? This is how disgusting these individuals are, and I'm sure y'all have tons of stories that you will probably leave in my comment section about promiscuity of these narcissists. Okay, I am thankful that I didn't catch any STDs, dealing with narcissistic men. But I would say every man that I was with didn't want to use a condom with me. And I'm not always going to say that I used a condom with a narcissistic man. But I'm so thankful that I didn't end up with something, okay? Nothing is off limits to them. They do not honor marriage. They do not honor relationships. You're not their wife. You're not their husband. You are their supply. You are their slave, okay? You are there to normalize their life, to make them look good, to do their errands, to keep them afloat in life. They need people. They cannot survive without people, okay? You have to understand, because they have these dark spirits on them, their sex appetite is never satisfied. They're never satisfied sexually. So this is why they're able to sleep with multiple people and not get drained. They're the ones that's taking the energy from other people in order to survive in this realm. Okay? They're energy vampires. So you're probably thinking, damn, how they sleeping with all these people and they're not getting drained and they can still get it up or they can still get wet? They're never sexually satisfied, and that's why they're able to go from one man or one woman to the next easily, no problem at all. Okay, so I'm sure these narcissists have hundreds or even thousands of people that they slept with. Okay, and they're gonna make you feel. Some of them are really good at sex. Don't get me wrong. I've had great sex with some narcissists, but that's all they're good for. Okay, it doesn't matter how good your vagina or your penis is. You're not enough for them. They're never going to be sexually satisfied, okay? And nobody's off limits. And that's basically it. There's really nothing to it. I've just seen a lot of nasty stuff, that some things that I just would never even want to repeat on camera, okay? And I'm just here to tell you how dangerous it is to think that maybe you can trust a narcissist because you need your itch scratched. Okay, it's not worth it. Do what you gotta do. Masturbate if you have to until you move on and you get into a healthy relationship. But I'm begging you, if you are sleeping with a narcissist right now, please stop. Because you don't want to end up with something that you can't get rid of. All right? So that's it for today. I just wanted to make it quick and simple and let you know how dangerous it really is and how promiscuous narcs really are. Yes, there are they say cerebral narcs who can be asexual, who don't like sex, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like even they use sex to manipulate or to make people feel less than, because if you have a partner who doesn't want to have sex with you, you're going to feel that you're not desirable, okay? So narcissists use sex as a weapon, all right? And yeah, they're the type that will get you pregnant and feel absolutely nothing for your child. Get pregnant, leave you with the kid, not really think. They have no feelings, attachment whatsoever to their children. Okay, their children is just it's just part of the game. It's part of the attachment to their supply. This is why they're just gonna focus on the mom or the dad. They're not focused on the child because the child was just an extension to the bullshit that they're running. That was it. They just happened to get you pregnant. They just happen to have kids with you, and that's it. So understand that they don't love your child. They don't care. And nothing is off limits to a narc sexually. Nothing is off limits. Okay? So I want to hear y'all crazy sex stories in the comments. Leave it for me. All right. Have an awesome week. Smooches.